Fit, I mean fit as in fit, not fit as in fit. Um, but that's okay too. And that's just like, I enjoy fitness. It makes me feel really good. It always has. You've heard me talk about vanity, sanity a trillion billion times over the years, and I just think there's a massive connection. And for me, it's a really important part of my life. So those are the things: fearless, funny, fit. And the challenges I've already covered a little bit. The challenges. Again, so the challenges are the things that stop you from achieving your three values that you aspire to. So the challenges that stop me being fearless would be that I'm naturally a bit of a fanny. So it takes a lot of effort for me to be brave, and sometimes it's easier not to be because it does take a lot of effort. Funny, as I've said, is trying to stop myself always thinking about the next thing and trying to live more in the moment and committing to the sort of here and now rather than always like, yeah, I'm having a really nice time, but I've got to get up tomorrow, I've got to, whatever it is. And fit, the challenges are just like, can't be bothered to train today, I'm not going to bother training, and then the next thing is I'm just going to eat crap because I'm not trained anyway, and then I might as well have a drink, and then and then I ain't going to feel like training tomorrow, and then getting into that kind of negative, for me, a negative kind of pattern where I'm not training because it just started with a challenge that I wasn't able to overcome. So like just trying to know what the challenges are that stop you from achieving your three kind of values that you would like to aspire to. So that's values. And then the next one is about values as well, but it's about the relationships that you value. So again, this is about they all kind of interlink and tie in together, but being aware of the relationships that bring value to your life and to your well-being. So again, I think we've all been in situations or perhaps have people in our lives who aren't necessarily very positive, or and I don't mean like high-fiving and whooping and all of that, but people who are generally perhaps a bit critical of us, or put you down to kind of make themselves feel better, or just have or going back to outlook, they have a very negative outlook on the world, and spending time around that kind of rubs off on you a little bit, whatever it is. But those kind of relationships that actually, when you stop and think, don't really do very much for you. And not that, life is about looking to see what you can get all of the time, but in terms of relationships, I think it is important that, you're seeking out those relationships that do make you feel good, make you feel better, because inevitably you probably make that person feel good too. That's kind of how it works, isn't it? So it's kind of, having an awareness of what those, and I think it's one of those things as you get older that becomes a little bit more obvious and a little bit easier in a sense, but whereas when you're younger, I think that's probably more of a tricky one to be able to identify where those relationships sometimes aren't as good for us as others. And then also looking at, which I think is a big one, is looking at the things in life that you can control. It's kind of an obvious one, but there are things in life that you can control and you can change, and there are things that you can't. So you could use this experience now. There's nothing, we can't change the fact that we're in lockdown because of COVID-19. We can't change the awful things that have happened, because it's a given. So kind of sitting here thinking, gosh, I wish it wasn't like that, and I wish it hadn't happened, and I wish my business hadn't had to close, and I wish I could go and see my mum. It's like, well, you can't, okay? So there's, it's pointless. And although I'm not saying, again, we're only human, you are going to have fleeting thoughts about these things, but to try and sort of drive your mind away from them, because they are things that you can't change. And actually, for all of those things, there's loads of things that you can change. So why not try and focus your energy on those things that you can actually do something about? Well, you know what? I can use this time to do something else. I'm always complaining that I don't have time to do anything. I don't have time for myself. Why don't I just chill out a little bit and enjoy the fact that I don't have to jump out of bed when the alarm clock goes off, dash into the shower, dash to work, dash to the gym, dash back, dash here, dash there? Why don't I just think, oh, this is nice. I've got some time on my hands. Yeah, of course. I'd like to be doing other stuff, but you see, it's about, like I say, trying to kind of focus on those things that you can change, because it's control, isn't it? Having some control in your life makes you feel, again, more positive, because not having control makes you feel less powerful, I suppose, for want of a better kind of phrase. So yeah, increasing your feelings of control are going to be kind of helpful in your sort of general overall well-being. And you can apply this to, stuff like boring stuff, your daily chores. You can apply it to relationships, again, touching on that last one that we talked about putting energy and effort into the relationships that you value, that you're taking control and realising this is important, I'm going to put something into it. If you've got big stuff going on, like you're planning to move house, or you're going to start a family or whatever, those are what you'd call big projects, and planning around those can be a way of really kind of making you feel and harness your sort of feelings of control. So yeah, it's just about trying to feel like you've kind of got a grip on life, and not, as I say, not just focusing on the things that you can't do, and the things that you're struggling with. So scheduling stuff can kind of help you increase feelings of control. And again, as I said to you, just working out, having a journal, writing stuff down, reflecting on it, all of those kind of the whole writing experience can be a way of helping you to process stuff, and also reflect on it and learn from it. But as I say, aside from that, I think in this environment to write would be something incredible to look back on, if and when it's all over. So yeah, those are my top tips. So what do you think of those? So yeah, it's like I say, none of it's kind of groundbreaking, none of it's stuff you don't know, but it's all good kind of just grounding things that we can all do, activities that we can all do. And I think really the focus is around kind of self-awareness, and we've got plenty of time to kind of reflect and work on ourselves at the moment. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be, becoming a yogi or losing 2 stone, or whatever else crazy things people are up to in lockdown. It can just be about giving ourselves a little bit of headspace, a little bit of time, and a little bit of kind of active positive energy, because most of the time we're running around like headless chickens. So that's my top tips for you in lockdown. And next week I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything session. So if you've got anything that you want to ask me, skin injectables, peels, skincare, anything at all between now and next week, drop me a message however you like. Insta, email, Facebook, whatever your preferred mode of communication, and ask me anything for next week. What have we got on here? I know it will help my well-being. 193 opening up. I need emergency treatment. Yeah. Yeah, well, what can I say? You remember what I said about the things you can't change? Got a hello. Did I do hello from Melissa? Hello, Melissa. I got from Nemo. I've been stressed and my skin seems to reflect that. Well, unfortunately, that's really normal. Lots of reasons for that. But stress and the hormones that are associated with it will unfortunately show in the skin. So, you know, there is stuff that you can do skincare wise to help manage that. And then there's the lifestyle stuff as well. And so some of what I've spoken about today, although it's not, you know, it's not skin treatments, obviously, it can be helpful just to lower the stress, which would have a good effect on the skin as well. But any specific personal advice, drop me a message. Lorraine, hello, I'm on, how are you? Now, Lorraine is someone who's redecorated her entire home whilst lockdown's been going on. She puts everyone to shame. Really sound advice. I think control is so prevalent in nurses. Oh yeah, I agree. That's something I need to work on, stepping back from my role and getting back as a more junior nurse. That's absolutely right, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You need to come on to the nurse lives, and we'll talk about that more. That would be where we will discuss and explore. Very good, relatable advice. Thank you. You're very welcome. I make a list every few days of stuff to do and mark them off as I do them. Makes you feel that you're accomplishing something so small. It's so true, Lorraine. You are, I have to say, you are incredible though in all that you achieve. But you're right, marking stuff off. Because otherwise, again, I saw somebody post again today something funny on social media, but it was about not being able to think straight. I can't remember what the caption. Anyway, it was one of those funny ones, but about not being able to kind of think properly. And I think so many people are suffering with that in lockdown. And so writing a list is a very obvious but a very good way of clearing your brain and organising your thoughts so that you can, like you say, just tick stuff off, even if it's really small. And it brings that feeling of control back, doesn't it? That, you know, you're not just completely flailing about. Ah, thank you. Listen, you rock. Okay. Okay, so don't forget about Ask Me Anything. And if you need anything, skincare wise, you know, we're sending out skincare stuff, we're doing online skin consultations, quick plugs in at the end. And we also are taking bookings provisionally in clinic from June. You know, we might need to change that, obviously, in accordance with the government advice. But if you feel, again, like you want to take control and have something in place, then you can book in. So please get in touch. And other than that, I shall see you all next week. Thanks for watching.